or a low to build this bridge as low as you can, because we want to maximize the bridge or the mixed voice over as many notes as we can so that we have a lot of command of this and a lot of versatility. Okay, so I'm going to start here. We're going to do A and A sliders in octaves, starting with A. Now, if you notice that top note, I didn't go my top note was already mixed. Okay, I'm already mixing that note. Now, why that's significant is I'm doing it pretty low and you couldn't hear it, but it's significant because it means that I have a long way to go of how many of these notes and or even a percentage of mix that I can add to a sound. More chest, less chest, more head, less head, okay? Now, this is gonna be really cool also at the top note because you have to be able to understand how to get into mix and hold mixed voice in order to be able to sing it what's called being square in the lift or right smack dab at the passaggio. So if you're right at the passaggio and you can hold the line, so to speak, and you have good phonation in the line, good, good volume is coming out, then you know you're actually mixing and you can determine how much air you want to allow into the mix. Let's continue on. Okay. Now, did you notice in that top note, it sounds like you can't really tell if I'm in chest or head, right? Well, that's the goal because I've grown my head voice so strong and so powerfully that it sounds like my chest voice, but it's not. That's an actual full head mix. Now notice I'm still staying really bright on the sound. I'm not going, I'm not putting a glut of air across it because that's going to dry out the chord. So A. Now, again, why we're doing sliders, this is important again, I think I mentioned this before, is that it's because we're not doing specific notes in the scale, okay? So we're not notching or doing specific notes in a scale. It's easy to slide through these because you could just kind of relax the throat and then kind of force it to stay open to get in and out of the passaggio. If we were going, you're going to have to negotiate the scale itself and how those note values feel, trying to get each note value, and then also, getting a mixed voice. So we start with gentle sliders. So let's do this again. I am not going to sing any louder than I can connect. Now, this is really important. I know I said it. I'm going to say it again. You guys are going to want to go fast, and I don't blame you. If you only can do this really lightly, that lightly, it's totally fine. That's how I had to learn. In fact, that's I said, it took me 2 years to understand, okay, that's how I can build the bridge. And if I don't, like I said, like the soccer kick, if I overbloat the passaggio and I break down the joint of the knee, then I tear down muscle structure and I never really get a chance to grow this. So one of the issues I've had, like with SLS, for example, is early bridging, where they get you to bridge early. I mean, they never really show how to strengthen that bridge and to hand this off or connect this later. So I'm showing you this now so that you'll know how to do this. Okay, ah. Now, ladies, you can come in on the ah here. Sopranos here. If you can do it that low, A. And you may not be able to go that low, so if you can't, just wait until you can come in. Ah. A. Now, one more important thing. Try not to race through the passaggio. There's a tendency to go and get through there quickly. We don't want to do that. I want you to feel the sensation of what it's supposed to feel like in your throat so that you can manage that feeling and manage the open space. Ah. Now, I want to say something about our vowel mods. Our vowel modifications still apply. Nothing changes from everything we've learned. They may shift a little higher because it's a little easier to hand your voice, your chest voice off into your head voice, and then you're using a lot of your head voice to do your work for you. So it is easier to wait till, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 notes even, where you actually start to modify the vowels. But the vowel modifications are still there and they still apply. I think I was on A or I'm going to go ah. By the way, you tenors, if you can do this, and in fact, I'm going to back this up a second. Tenors, if you can bring this up a little higher, I'm going to go all the way to the B, back to the B. Make sure that your bottom note is chest. Don't start in head voice and fool yourself and make you think that, or have you think that you're actually doing this mix. No, start in chest and land in chest and make sure that you're not dragging head voice all the way down to chest and thinking that you're mixing. That doesn't fly. So let's do ah on the B. This is true for you too, sopranos or contraltos, altos. Ladies, you continue. We go A. Now, by the way, I'm mixing on the bottom now. I'm not only singing chest, I actually have a mixed voice of chest and head on the bottom. So you guys are going to do this too, whether it's chest and head, wherever you mix this sound, you're going to mix it at certain places. It's not one or the other. And you can actually start on mix. You don't have to start on chest and go to mix. You can start on mix, okay? Lay. All right, now I'm going to move on to some more stuff here in a minute, but I want to emphasize one more thing. If you can't do it again that loud, don't. Back off the sound, make it super small, keep it bright. Don't let it be airy, keep it bright. If you can go, la, la, and you can hit it really hard, do it. That's great. If you can do that and control it and get through the passaggio without hearing the break, gradually build up stamina and muscle strength with a view towards that. But also, don't get caught in the trap where you have to always belt through a sound. Make sure that you can do it really light, medium, and heavy, so you have total command of mixed voice and not just get relegated to always having to belt through a sound. All right, let's continue. Voice and head voice and our vowel modification of what it's a down the know how to do this. Okay, ah. Now, ladies, you can come in on the ah here. Sopranos here. If you can do it that low, a. And you may not be able to go that low, so if you can't, just wait until you can come in. Ah. A. Now, one more important thing. Try not to race through the passaggio. There's a tendency to go and get through there quickly. We don't want to do that. I want you to feel the sensation of what it's supposed to feel like in your throat so that you can manage that feeling and manage the open space. Ah. Now, I want to say something about our vowel mods. Our vowel modifications still apply. Nothing changes from everything we've learned. They may shift a little higher because it's a little easier to hand your voice, your chest voice off in your head voice, and then you're using a lot of your head voice to do your work for you. So it is easier to wait till, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 notes even, where you actually start to modify the vowels. But the vowel modifications are still there and they still apply. I think I was on A or I'm going to go